He was warrior and mystic, ogre and saint, the fox and the innocent, chivalrous, ruthless, less than a god, more than a man. Remember, we speak now of the Muad'Dib who ordered battle drums made from his enemies' skins, the Muad'Dib who denied the conventions of his ducal past with a wave of the hand, saying merely, "I am the Kwisatz Haderach." That is reason enough. Few characters in Frank Herbert's expansive Dune Saga are as intricately designed and deeply nuanced as Paul Atreides, whose multiple names, titles, and personas chronicle his complex evolution. In this video, I'd like to delve into the many identities associated with Paul Atreides and how they serve as a reflection of his evolving journey throughout the Dune series. Spoiler warning if you are unfamiliar with Frank Herbert's Dune. Atreides. As the ducal heir, Paul is set to inherit not just a title, but the weight of his family's legacy and its future potential. Under the leadership of Paul's father, Duke Leto, the name Atreides is defined by noble virtues of honor, wisdom, and strength. House Atreides has not only prospered, but also gained considerable influence among the interstellar political body known as the Landsraad. However, such prominence is a double-edged sword. It not only confers status, but also brings inherent dangers. The name makes Paul a target, attracting the attention of adversaries and setting the stage for assassination attempts. As such, Paul's upbringing was far from traditional. His instructors were renowned warriors and tacticians who became his close companions and allies, and who educated him in the arts of diplomacy, combat, and warfare. His education included rigorous martial training to ensure he was well equipped with the knowledge and skills necessary to withstand the ever-present threats that he would face as Duke of House Atreides. This training could not be more timely, as Duke Leto's rising strength triggers an elaborate trap set by the Emperor himself, aiming to bring about the downfall of House Atreides. It's a test that will quickly prove whether Paul is worthy of the Atreides legacy he's set to inherit. Kwisatz Haderach. Paul has more than one birthright. As the son of Lady Jessica, a member of the mysterious and powerful order of women known as the Bene Gesserit, Paul is part of a cosmic design that encompasses more than just the politics of the Imperium, but the very destiny of humanity itself. Over thousands of years, through their secret breeding program, the Bene Gesserit sought to produce a superbeing who would possess the ideal blend of genetic traits. The Kwisatz Haderach is the sisterhood's label for this being, meaning the one who can be many places at once. A human powerful enough to bridge space and time itself, with the powers of a Bene Gesserit Reverend Mother with superb muscle and nerve control and the ability to see into the past of both male and female genetic memories, possessing prescience that far exceeded that of a Spacing Guild navigator and the analytical prowess of a super mentat. All these abilities combined would allow the Kwisatz Haderach to understand and use these higher-order dimensions to direct humanity's future on a path of the Sisterhood's choosing. However, Paul's destiny as the Kwisatz Haderach is complicated, as he was never intended to be their chosen one. Lady Jessica disobeyed the Sisterhood's orders, and instead of producing a daughter for the Bene Gesserit, she gave her beloved Duke Leto a son and heir. Paul's emergence as the Kwisatz Haderach, however, was premature, adding layers of unpredictability to their designs. Paul's journey and experiences on Arrakis would ultimately lead him to reject the Sisterhood's plans for him, refusing to be their puppet. The Bene Gesserit, through their Missionaria Protectiva, sowed myths and prophecies across the planets of the Imperium to further their agenda. This manipulation was especially potent on Arrakis, where the phrase "shortening of the way" was interpreted by the local Fremen as the Kwisatz Haderach. Paul's arrival aligned with Fremen prophecy, reinforcing his messianic image and showcasing the Bene Gesserit's deep-rooted influence. Mahdi and Lisan al-Gaib. In Paul, the Fremen saw the fulfillment of their implanted messianic legends. As such, he became associated with the names Mahdi and Lisan al-Gaib. The Mahdi was said to be a child of a Bene Gesserit who would lead the Fremen to true freedom, to a water-rich paradise. Because of Paul's training and awakening prescience, he would be seen as their prophesied leader, who was said to be aware of things others cannot see, who would know the Fremen's ways as though born to them. He would also be called the Lisan al-Gaib, meaning the voice from the outer world, also sometimes translated as giver of water, indicating their Messiah as an off-world prophet. Apart from these legends associated with Paul, he would also assume 2 other names among the Fremen. Usul. After defeating the Fremen warrior Jameis in ritual combat, Paul is officially inducted into Stilgar's tribe of Sietch Tabr. Impressed with Paul's strength, Stilgar is inspired to bestow upon him the name of Usul, meaning the base of the pillar. This is a secret name that only the members of Stilgar's tribe would know and use. Paul had known this name before he had even set foot on Arrakis. He had dreamt of a young girl many times who inquired about the waters of his homeworld, addressing him by that name. Witnessing these events materialize, particularly upon meeting the Fremen girl Chani and being christened as Usul, served as potent confirmation of a predestined path unfolding before him. Then it was time for Paul to choose his name of manhood for the Fremen to call him openly in public. Muad'Dib. Paul's moment of self-naming, when he chooses to be called Muad'Dib after the desert kangaroo mouse, marks a pivotal moment in his transformation. He has already begun to see a future where fanatic legions go forth pillaging and burning across the universe in the name of their prophet, Muad'Dib. He impresses the Fremen in adopting a name synonymous with desert wisdom and adaptability, yet he retains his birth name to be known as Paul Muad'Dib, in an ultimately vain attempt to deviate from the impending jihad he foresaw. This name reflects Paul's desire to mold his destiny, even as he is ensnared by prophecies and visions of the future. Emperor. Paul ascended to the Imperial throne as the Duke of Arrakis, overthrowing the existing Imperial power and beginning the Atreides dynasty. With control over Arrakis and the precious spice, Paul became not just a ruler, but a force that shaped the fate of humanity itself. Having achieved unparalleled power, he vanquished his formidable adversaries, the Harkonnens, and the former Emperor Corino's elite Sardaukar legions. As Emperor, Paul brought the Spacing Guild with their monopoly on interstellar travel to their knees, and he placed his sister Alia on the religious throne that Bene Gesserit had long possessed. In the name of their emperor Muad'Dib, with the Atreides banner in hand, the Fremen went forth under his authority in a bloody interstellar jihad that resulted in the death of billions. Within just 12 standard years, their religious crusade subjugated nearly the entire known universe under a single rule. The Preacher. Decades later, Paul assumes the identity of the Preacher. At this point, his journey has taken a more introspective turn. 9 years after he was blinded and presumed dead following his disappearance into the desert, the Atreides Empire remained under the regency of his sister Alia. As the blind and mysterious figure known as the Preacher, Paul openly criticized the religious institution built around Muad'Dib's legend. This identity starkly contrasts with his earlier personas. No longer the celebrated leader or prophet, the Preacher is an outsider, criticizing the very system that he himself had set into motion, leading to his execution at the hands of his own worshippers. The journey of Paul Atreides showcases a symphony of identities, from the noble Atreides heir to the off-world prophet as the Lisan al-Gaib, from the Bene Gesserit's manufactured messiah, the Kwisatz Haderach, to the universe-altering Emperor Muad'Dib, and finally, becoming the mysterious Preacher. Each name and persona builds upon Paul's character, whose arc drives home Frank Herbert's stark warnings against the perils of blindly following charismatic leaders. But I'm curious to know what you think of the many names, titles, and roles of Paul Atreides. Is there a particular identity through his story arc that stands out to you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe for more Dune and other sci-fi and fantasy news and lore. And if you're looking for other ways to show your appreciation, you can check out my Patreon page, where members get access to exclusive perks. Thank you all so much for your support, and as always, have a very nerdy day.